families from Lewisham, and in total they've been in a hostel accommodation for almost 4 years now. So they're sharing bathrooms with strangers and they're very, very overcrowded. So we're going to go now to Lewisham Council in support of the two families. We want to get inside the office so we can have more impact, so that we can be heard, and demand to speak to the manager to try and get their cases resolved today.
El espacio es muy reducido en una habitación. Los vecinos se quejan de si corre el ruido. A raíz de todo eso empecé a tener ansiedad y estrés, mucho estrés. Y pues mi hijo como que no ha podido desarrollarse bien por el tema de que compartir el baño, todas esas necesidades, no puede aprender a dejar el pañal. Estoy estudiando en la universidad y los viajes son muy largos porque está lejos la distancia con mi madre y la universidad.
We've got a boy who's spent his whole life in a hostel, so it's like 2 years in a hostel. The other family's also been over a year in the hostel, and then she won her suitability review. The council's housed it on the other side of London. So we've done everything. We've done the legal process, so we're just here to speak to a manager. The cases are really urgent.
I understand you. Something you can do for me. The manager of you can stay inside. All of you can go outside.
No, we'll wait inside for the manager to see us.
We're the largest mutual aid peer support action group in the country. Most of the members are from Southwark and Lambeth, but as the housing crisis has gone on and on, people have brought their friends from other boroughs and we've grown and grown.
Take a cupcake and then you can put some green slime on them, and then you can decorate them as well.
These tactics, we do them because there's no other option. We do this quite regularly and they're more successful than they're not. In January this year, we got a member on the top of the waiting list after doing this.
6 weeks is the maximum time a family should be in a hostel. But our families have been in a hostel for 4 years. This is too long, right?
So shame.
Yeah, shame on Lewisham.
There is a loophole in the policy, because if a family is living in a hostel run by the council, they can live there for 9 years, 3 years, 4 years, and they call that as a temporary accommodation. But if it's run by a private company, the law says maximum is 6 weeks. But unfortunately, often the council-run hostels are worse than the private-run ones.
1 week. Too long and temporary. 1 month. Too long and temporary. 2 months. Too long and temporary. 3 months. Too long and temporary. 1 year. Too long and temporary. 2 years. Too long and temporary. 3 years. Too long and temporary. 4 years. Too long and temporary.
In London in general, they are sending families outside London, really far away of the school, in a really poor condition of housing. And all the time the answer of the council is to say they need to wait. People who have really bad health condition, an overcrowded situation, they try to escape from the private sector, living in a really bad condition, and the council are saying again to worse condition. We have a family for another council who has, they have 4 children, and one of those children has been attacked for rats. No, he was in the hospital for a long time, on a risk to lose one of his eyes. No, and the council know that, but they are still sending families for a very poor condition of housing. It's no fair at all. It's not fair at all for those families.
And 2.5 years in a hostel, that's why it's so serious. That's why we're all here. You wouldn't want your children growing up in a hostel where you share the bathroom with strangers. It's really undignified.
I promise one thing, you'll get some sort of response, or I will get you to speak with someone, but it won't be the whole team.
Yeah, we don't need the whole team. Yeah.
All right, so bear with me.
Lewisham Council, hear us say, homeless households anyway. Lewisham Council, hear us say, homeless households anyway.
The solution to the housing crisis is council housing. It's the only solution. When we didn't have a housing crisis, we had loads of council housing. We need more money to fund a council housing revolution. Councils could be calling for that, but they're not. One problem is they're spending their funds fighting our members. One of the people we're here today for has a court case going on. That's costing the council so much money. They also demolish council housing, sell it off. The reason they can is because there's no resistance from a lot of homeless families. and we're providing that resistance.
We want to stay here until to get a decent answer.
Exactly.
We want to stay here. We want to stay here.
Yeah, I guess so. It's crazy though. Again, I don't understand how it takes so long. Like, you know, a hostel is obviously not going to after 2.5 years. Like, if you can't tell us that, like, you shouldn't be in charge of temporary accommodation. What is there to look at? It's like, she's in a hostel, it's been 2.5 years. You can say that's unsuitable. And if you're having to do this now, why weren't you doing this months ago? Like, you're only doing this because we're here.
¿Qué pasa? ¿Qué pasa? Que no tenemos casa. ¿Qué pasa? ¿Qué pasa? Que no tenemos casa.
Thank you everybody for supporting our members, Maira and Maribel. Thank you so much. They said they're going to consider our request for direct offers for both families, and they will give us an answer in 1 week. But if we don't get a positive answer,